Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm not going to read through the full article, but I will read through quite a bit of it. There is a link in the description. Going to start off by giving you an overview, and if you do appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. Okay, so I'm going to give you a bit of an overview. It's in regards to this lady here. Her name is Piper Lewis. And the incident in question happened June the 1st, 2020. She was 15 years of age at the time. She had run away from home. She was living in a foster home situation. She had run into personal issues with her foster parent, her foster mother, I believe. She ran away from home. She was living on the streets at the age of 15. And she was quickly taken in by an unnamed man who was 40 years of age, who seems to be part of the trial that we'll have a look at. And she's facing sentencing tomorrow. Yeah, so she was, let me try to keep on track. So she was homeless, 15 years of age. She was quickly taken in by a 40-year-old man. That 40-year-old man immediately forced her to have sex with other men. He subsequently created a dating profile in order to pimp her out to force her to have sex with men for money. These are the allegations. Now, further to that, she was pimped out to some guy called Zachary Brooks, who was 37 years of age, and allegedly, according to Piper Lewis's account, allegedly Piper Lewis was forced by her pimp to spend the night with this guy, Zachary Brooks. They started off, she didn't want to be there, allegedly, but she was forced again at the age of 15, and they were drinking. She says she was plied with alcohol, and there was marijuana usage. We're not sure if she had marijuana or not, but she had alcohol, and she was expecting or hoping or praying that this guy in question, Zachary Brooks, who was basically a John, basically had bought her for $50 worth of marijuana, paid to have sex with her, to the pimp, $50. Apparently, the girl, Piper Lewis, passed out. She became unconscious. She fell asleep or became unconscious. She awoke to being raped. She awoke with this alleged scumbag, on top of her. Pardon the details, but he was in the midst of raping the 15-year-old girl, Piper Lewis, in accordance with her account. And apparently there were multiple rapes. She was raped multiple times by this scumbag, allegedly. Now, we can go through the details just to make sure I get things 100% correct, but essentially at a certain point, I believe the next morning, she was able to leave. She was able to dress herself and leave. As she was leaving, she saw a knife on a bedside table. She took that knife, and in a fit of rage, she stabbed the alleged rapist, the scumbag that you see in front of you, the alleged scumbag. She stabbed him 30 times. He died. She took his car and drove away. The body of the alleged rapist scumbag was found the following day by a maintenance man. This all happened in Iowa, Des Moines, in June 2020. And there's been a trial. We don't know the full details of the trial. This is just one article that I've gone through. It provides a certain amount of detail, but not everything, of course. But she is facing decades in jail. If she's found guilty of murder, she's facing decades in jail. She's claiming that the killing of the man was not premeditated and that were the results of rage. She's claiming that she was the victim of rape by the scumbag, let's say, that was stabbed 30 times. And with that, she's hoping that she won't face jail time. However, she has pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter and willful injury, and she is facing decades in prison. So, did I make this comment a moment ago? Today, tomorrow, she will find her fate. She will learn her fate. Sentencing is due to occur today or tomorrow. Now, I personally hope that if her account is true, then I hope that she gets away with it. I hope that all charges are dropped, or she's found not guilty, or whatever the correct terminology would be. I think it would be a travesty to jail this woman, this girl. She's 17 now. She was 15 at the time, 17 now. It would be a travesty if she was to remain in jail. She's been in jail since the occurrence. So I think she was arrested the day after the event, June 2020. So I would hope that she's released. I don't know how confident I am, but that would be my hope. That is, if her account is true. So again, her account is she was homeless at the age of 15. She was taken in by a 40-year-old stranger. We don't know the name of that scumbag. And according to the girl's account, the 40-year-old stranger forced her to have intercourse with multiple men immediately. And I'm going to go on a bit of a mini rant here in regards to that. That aspect absolutely disgusts me. And the real aspect which disgusts me is just the immediacy of having a market of men that are willing to pay to have sex with an unwilling party. I mean, to me, that is just utter craziness. And this is not the only example of this, This is something that happens. Sex trafficking, human trafficking. I'm not fully supportive of the term human trafficking, because my understanding is the definition often includes consensual prostitution. And to me, that's not really human trafficking. To me, human trafficking would be when a person is forced into prostitution against their will. And to me, it's utter craziness that an individual, and let's be honest, let's be realistic, the individuals in question are men by and large. It's crazy to me that individuals are willing to pay to have sex with those people, be that a minor female, a minor male, or an adult male or female. But these scumbags are willing to pay to have sex with someone that they know or strongly suspect is being forced to participate in the prostitution, being forced to participate in the act. They don't want to be there. They're being forced there by a pimp, by a boyfriend, whatever the case may be. Maybe even indirectly forced by their addiction to drugs, perhaps. But to me, it's sickening, the immediacy that a pimp, right? This guy, this 40-year-old stranger that decided to turn a 15-year-old girl into a prostitute, and I guarantee that's not the first minor to have suffered that fate from the hands of that scumbag. But it shocks and disgusts me how immediately these scumbags, these pimps, can find a market, Just like that, they've got, dozens of men willing to pay to have sex with someone who's been held against their will. I mean, that is insanity, but that is reality. But I'm a man. I'm not a man hater. I like men, but there is way too many men, seemingly. I don't know what the percentage is, but my guess would be like I don't know. I'm thinking it must be around 5%, which is a pretty big number, to be honest. But there's too many men that are utterly depraved to pay, to willingly pay, to choose, to desire, to engage in sex with someone against their will. There's someone that's been forced into prostitution against their will. I mean, that's rape. I don't know. How can they not process that? How can the men think it's anything other than rape if they have an awareness that the prostitute in question has been forced into the prostitution? I've gone on a bit of a rant there. Let's see if there's anything else I can tell you. There's not too much more. I've given you quite a bit of details, but the 40-year-old stranger that allegedly accosted Piper Lewis in the first instance, seemingly he was a part of this trial, but we don't know who he is. We don't know his name. We don't know anything about him. And he denies all accusations made against him, and he denies the involvement of this guy, Zachary Brooks. So he's saying that the girl has made it all up. But you know what? If I was a pimp, if I was a human trafficker or a sex trafficker, I'm not, by the way, I'm not planning to be either, but if I were, and if I was accused of any criminal activity, I too would probably deny it. That's pretty much everything that I want to go through, but I will mention that as a 15-year-old in Iowa, even if the girl's account is not accurate, even if the sex was consensual, it would still be an illegal act because of his age. He was 37 years of age in Iowa. If you're a minor under the age of 16, it's illegal to have sex with anybody that's more than 4 years older. So it would have been an illegal act in any case. So I guess the situation here is whether or not we believe what Piper Lewis has to say. And because we are just looking at one article here, which provides us with some details, but it's not comprehensive, because we've not had a blow-by-blow account of the trial, we're not there, we're not listening to all of the evidence, we kind of have to guess with very scant information. And I don't want to wholeheartedly, I don't want to 100% automatically believe this girl's accusations. They could be false. They could be false. I'm not saying that they are false, and I'm not saying that I believe they are false, but I think but I am saying that I think it's sensible and the right thing to do just to realize that there is the potential that they're not, that her account is inaccurate. However, having said that, my tendency is to believe her. I can see this kind of situation happening, regrettably. A 15-year-old girl, she runs away from home. A scumbag, a street dweller scumbag, decides that he's going to have sex with this girl. He's going to force her to have sex with others. Why? Well, because he wants to make her a pimp. He wants to get money out of her. There are people like that. We know that. We do know that. And it's sick. It's a very sick part of humanity. But it's a thing. So it's an awful, awful story, but it's not the first time that this type of thing has happened. I mean, this type of thing happens, and we know, we try to pretend it doesn't happen, but it does. You know, human trafficking, sex trafficking, and the market is seemingly insatiable. I don't understand it. There must be, pardon my French, a fuck ton of sexually depraved, sick, psychopathic rapists out there. There really must be. It's awful. But anyway, that's as much of this topic that I want to cover. If I've done a half decent job, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. Tell me what your thoughts are. I might reply. I have been in the habit of replying to all comments, but I think I need to slow down a little bit. I need to slow down because I do have other responsibilities, and I'm finding it harder to maintain this channel as much as I would like to. So perhaps I need to focus more on making the videos as opposed to putting a big effort into replying to every comment. But having said that, please talk amongst yourselves in the comments. I will likely read even if I don't reply. In fact, I guarantee I will read them, for whatever that's worth, and maybe that's not worth anything. By the way, I realize I've entered my rant mode, my waffling mode, which I'm going to allow myself to do from time to time. But that's enough of your time wasted, so I'm going to thank you for your time.